Children, now we are going to have interview skills in Unit 3. So first video is of conversational skills. Now it is of interview skills. And you got in Unit 3, Unit 3 you got in Unit 3 you got conversational skills. In conversational skills you have already heard greetings and introductions, asking for information and permission, and giving instructions and directions. And even I already gave you one exercise also to do on that. And the next one is regarding that interview skills, and then presentation skills and public speaking. Interview skills, presentation skills, and public speaking. So now you have already finished the class conversational skills. Now we are dealing with interview skills. In interview skills, what are we going to have the techniques? You just see. Normally, an interview is a meeting between two people. Is it or not? Normally, an interview is a meeting between two people. They know about each other through questions and answers. So usually they'll come to know, they'll introduce one by one. They know about each other by questioning. One will question and next will get answer. So in such kind of conversation, they know. The persons who ask questions is an interviewer. The person who responds in an interview, the person who responds is an interviewee. So the question answer, who is going to ask the question is called an interviewer, and who is going to respond is an interviewee. We watched or read some interviews of writers or film actors on the TV or the newspapers. Usually we have such kind of interviews, and I think you have already heard about Ali doing that interviews. So that is the main thing. You could have a better example is that Ali in ETV, he does this interview. To select the right person, employing organization will conduct interviews. So if they want to have interviews will be conducted mainly because of to have a good selection of an employee. That's why the companies will conduct interviews. They look into the minds of eligible candidates to assess their strengths and weaknesses. So now the main purpose of the companies, or they don't want any academic strength, they don't want any marks weightage, they don't want 90% people toppers, they don't want. They only want the people who have their strengths and weaknesses. So they want to assess their strength and weaknesses and recognize that if the candidate is suitable for their organization. So now all the companies, they are assessing the candidates with an interview skills, and then basing on their mind's strength, basing on their mind's positiveness, they are selecting the candidates. They assess our physical, mental, and psychological attitudes. So mainly it is totally, now the interviews are totally based on mental and psychological attitudes. Every interview board consists of 4 to 6 members. So every interview board. So they'll ask in all the other patterns. The physical condition, mental conditions, psychological conditions, academic conditions, like that. The board will have at least 4 to 6 members, and they will assess the right persons to work in their company. So how the interview will be done? Facing the interview board only needs a cluster of skills like communication skills, thinking skills, body language, etc. So, basing on the interview. So, what this fellow want? He want to filter. In all these attitudes, he want to filter and want to get the right person. Basing on communication skills, thinking skills, body language. So, with that, he magnifies and see what is the inside of an interviewee, and by getting the correct gist from that fellow, they will filter and take them. For selecting a suitable candidate, interviews conduct two main concept interviews. One, telephonic interview and personal interview. So that these are two types of interviews, telephonic interview and personal interview. Telephonic interview helps them to screen the attitude of the aspirants. So what is the attitude of the candidate? So how he is he interested of working? So in all these aspects, the telephonic interview filter the candidate. Telephonic interview needs telephone etiquette. Etiquette means mannerism. Etiquette means the mannerism. How we behave with other people and the polite way of responding. Is the candidate is responding in the is it obediently or not? Is he reckless? Everything could be filtered by the telephonic interview. There are two stages in personal interviews. Now we are totally dealing with the personal interviews. So it is two stages, pre-interview stage and interview stage. There are two stages, pre-interview stage and interview stage. Observe the following about the stages of an interview. What the stages of an interview will be concerned. See, pre-interview. In pre-interview stage, get your certificates and other documents ready and in order. You have to put it in order. Must be ready. Whatever they ask, you must provide immediately. Avoid funky hairstyle and look decent. So we must look decent. So no any odd preparation in the body. Get a simple but decent dress pressed and be ready for interview. So one must be looking good in order. That's why you must get dress pressed. Don't wear flashy dress with gaudy designs. We should not wear such kind of things. So we should not get attracted. We must only look decent. Avoid ornamentation. We should not put any ornaments. Get your footwear polished and ready. So you must be with polishing your shoes and everything, whatever you are going to wear, it must be clean and neat. Know about the organization. This is the main thing. You should know about the organization. In what organization you are going to have the interview. Update your GK. That is the main thing. Your GK must be updated in, and even regarding that organization also. Present yourself 15 minutes before scheduled time. So if your schedule is by 9:30, you must present there at least by 9:15. You must be present there itself. Do SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis means strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So what are the strengths inside you got? What are the weaknesses inside you got? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities before you? What are the threats you are facing? So suppose the strength is your academic performance may be your strength. Your weakness may be you are not an entertainer. So that is your weakness. Opportunities. If this is not the job, what are the other path you are going to have? That is the opportunity. Threat. So there may be a threat of financial. You may be a financial. So some may be if you don't do the job, you have such kind of things. You have this kind of responsibilities. That is also a threat for you. So do your own analysis for yourself and get ready if they ask for the SWOT analysis. Practicing expected questions. You should also practice the expected questions. What questions they may ask regarding basing on this on that organization. So interview stage. In interview stage, what are the things? Arrive early. Arrive early. So if it is 9:30 of an interview, you are going to present there by at least 9 or 9:15. Arrive early. Greeting and offering a firm handshake. Firm handshake. It must not be loose and handshake. You must be stiff and confident of yourself. Be positive and confident. Be positive. You must think of that organization only, not are the minuses and weaknesses of that organization. Active listening and speaking. You must be active and listen what are the things that they are going to tell. So you have to listen actively and speak actively. So Whatever the questions they ask, you must retort immediately. Body language, eye contact, smile, sitting posture. Sitting posture means the way you sit. See, I already gave you an image. This is the sitting. You must be stiff and confident. So, hand movements, these are the hand movements. Thinking skills, alertness, you must be alert. Whatever he is asking, you must be ready to get answer. Sincerity, your sincerity must be projected. Ask questions if permitted. You should not ask questions. You should not ask any question. You are only presented there to give you an answer. So if he is permitted, the interview is permitted, then you can ask a question. If it is permitted only, leave the room after thanking them. You should only leave the room after thanking them. The most important thing to remember about any interview is that it is a two-way process. Is it or not? Everything, it is a two-way. He must be asking questions, you must be responding. If that is the, if it is any case, you too can also ask a question and he too can respond. It is as much about you finding out whether you want to work for the company as them finding out whether they want you. So you too can ask that is you that you are ready to work in the company and they are in need of it. This means it is important to present yourself as you really are, not pretend to be something you are not. So you must not pretend. So if you are interested only, you should ask that you are going to work in that if they permitted. Find out as much as you can about the company. So before going to the interview, you must find out what the company is, what it is producing, in what way you are going to help support the company. Look at their website. First, before going there, you have to look into the website and any information that they have sent you and see if you can find their mission, objectives, any value statements and the like. It is helpful to be familiar with the organization's guiding principles. Before going to an interview, sure you have to follow the organization guiding if that is the thing noted in the website. Also, try to find out how the job that you have applied for fits into the organization. So you could also explain. So I am in this way, so much experience. In this way, I am going to try. So this is a exact thing. This is the apt thing that the skills, my skills are apt to your organization. You could also explain in such a way. So make a list of the questions about the organization. So if he had permitted, ideally around work, you have to work around that, such as the team will be working with or the work that you will be doing on a daily basis. So if you want to ask in such kind of a way, you could ask. It's okay to ask about the on-site gym and the holiday allowances. If everything is okay, you could also ask in such kind of, but don't sound as if you are only interested in getting away from work. So you could ask on the site, gym, holidays, allowances. Only thing is you must not be projected in such a way. Always you are totally interested of that only and not of the work mind. You should not project in such a way. It's probably not a great idea to ask whether you will be able to work part-time at this stage. So it is based on your purpose. Either you should already have done that before applying or you need to be prepared to work the hours stated. So if you are interested, you could do the part-time also. You could ask, if you could ask whether I could work for a part-time, either you should already done that. So you have an experience of already having a part-time job. If you have that, you could ask, and even when you are applying, you could mention and even ask further hours to be noted. You should state the hours and should note. So about you before that, you need to sit down with the person's specifications and your application and develop some new examples of how you meet at least a few of the requirements. It is fine to talk about the examples on your application form or talk about the examples So that is in covering letter. In covering letter, you could cover whatever the things what you are interested of. But it's useful to have a few new ones too. So you could, if that is the thing, if you are so much interested, you could put the new ones. Describe the situation in one sentence or less and focus on your actions. So what are the things you are going to do? Daily routine. In daily routine, what are the things you are going to do? That also you could mention in your CV. The results that you achieved and how you knew you were successful. Sure, if you are going to be a successful, you could mention there within 2 or 3 sentences. It's also helpful to prepare answers for some of the standard icebreakers, such as tell me a bit about your current job. So you must be get prepared of these. Tell me a bit of about your current job, or tell me why you have applied for this job. This kind of things you must be well prepared. You must get well prepared of these questions. If the interviewer asks, tell me a bit about your current job, what are the things you are doing every day? If he had asked, you must be ready to give answer. Tell me why you have applied for this job. If the interviewer asks, tell me why you have applied this job. So you must get ready, prepare with these two answers. Your answer should focus on your skills and how you can use them in the new job. So if you join into that new job, you must be get ready to prepare with these answers and what are the things which are being adopted and made you to apply for this. Don't learn them off by heart. You should not get them by heart, but you have a good idea of what you want to say. So you must be projected in such a way that you have a very good idea that you want whatever you want to say and whatever you want to apply for this new job. So tests and presentations. Some interviewers require you to make a short presentation. They may ask you to give a short presentation or to take a test. Suddenly they may ask you to have a test also. The details will always be included in the letter inviting you to interview. So you will have time to prepare. If you have been asked to make a presentation, don't assume that there will be a PowerPoint. You should not at the same time. Why? Because that is not been allowed all the way for PowerPoint. You may not be ready that you will be standing in front of a group. So you may be invited to bring a handouts. Yes, that may be clear. You may be invited to bring out a handout. It's worth spending a bit of time making a one-page handout that fully summarizes your presentation, whether it's a mind map, a picture, or some sort, or your 5K take-home message. Have a look at your page. Then you must be get ready with that. Then you must be have some or the other creative thinking for some ideas. Think about what you want them to remember from your presentation. If that is the thing needed, you must have some in you have to write in your own way. You should not imitate. You should not get copied from some other way. You must prepare on your own creative thinking and make sure that's clear from your handout. The clear handout, so what you have gifted, what you have given as a handout, and that matter and this idea should not be mismatched. It must be matched appropriately. And finally, before you leave, thank the interview panel for the chance to attend the interview and say that it was nice to meet them. And finally, when you are going, you have to say it was a nice time to meet them. Smile, gain eye contact. So sure you have to give an eye contact and shake hands if appropriate. If the situation demands, you can give a handshake also. Always leave a good final impression. Whatever you are going to face an interview, you may be a failed answers you may be, but when you are leaving, you must give a very good impression. Final impression must always be a very fair leave taking. Thank you all. I think you could follow the tips. See once all and again see how this lady is giving this eye contact. See her eye contact and the impression and all the interviewers a handshake. So you should remember all these things. So your creative thinking is totally based on it. your tests and presentations. Be positive always and try to give your own positive thinking in all the ways. You try to project yourself. And then good preparation when you are going, when you are going for an interview, be prepared with the ideas. What about your current job, and what are you doing now? Tell me why you have applied for this job. Such kind of questions you must be get prepared well before going for an interview. Thank you all. Thank you once again. Hear this lesson carefully. Note down all the things. This is for your CSS. Second topic, Unit 3.